When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world. Septum Sin versus the world.
I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen vs. the World. I'm Septum Sen. I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to show you what we got.
Yeah.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So, before I get too far in, we've got a new little kitty who has jumped up.
He
And let me
just
see if I
decided to
can
join
grab
us.
him. Alright.
So, yes, a different sort of pickup from what usually is presented here.
So, as you can see,
Yes.
his name is Anderson Pooper until we change it. Of course, you can comment if you think that's a good name. But he's been running all around, so in case he runs in front of the camera and makes a disturbance, you should know. There you go, Anderson.
Yep. Alrighty then. So, we have got some fun stuff. In the spirit of this coming week will be the Oscars.
Oh, yes.
I believe, I know all of mine, I believe all of yours are Oscar nominees and winners.
At least nominees and
Yes.
some winners, yes.
So, I'm going to kick things off here with one I literally just picked up. I went to Best Buy on my way here. And I picked up a movie that, frankly, I have never liked. And I know I'm going to get some negative comments for this, but I've never cared for this film, damn it. But it is a multiple Oscar winner, a multiple nominee, and it came with a discount on a movie I really want to see. So, I got Aliens,
Woo!
James Cameron film from the 80s. It was a winner, I think, for sound editing and visual effects, and it was up for multiple additional awards, including Best Actress for Sigourney Weaver, apparently. But, you see here, $8 off Alita. I'm going to go see Alita, so I figured, what the heck, I need this movie in my collection anyway. I might as well get a discount for the movie.
Best luck
So,
on that one. I've
yeah.
heard some bad things about it already.
I've heard good things, mostly.
I've heard it's been underperforming.
It can't be any worse than this one.
Yeah, that's true. They gave anime eyes to a person.
Well, they did
That's
scale
kinda-
way back on that. If you've seen any of the recent stuff, it's not nearly as weird as it was at first.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But you'll have to let me know how it is.
Yeah.
I have to use my cinema dollars very, very wisely. Alright, so I'm going to start off with a pretty big one, which is
Oh.
Midnight Express. Now, this is a pretty cool one, a little Blu-ray book here. Story of Billy Hayes, a young American tourist condemned to a Turkish prison for his futile attempts to smuggle hashish out of the country. So, this one actually was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, and the winner of Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Original Score. So, again, really awesome, 1978. I have been wanting to see this for a while. I'm kind of glad that I finally got it in the collection. I wanted to show it off for a while.
Alrighty then. And by the way, this one was marked at 8, just in case you were wondering there. But like those, you know, if you add to the cost of the movie, it's going to be like 13 or so. Most of the rest of the ones I have here are Best Buy Black Friday pickups, but there are a couple notable exceptions to that. But this one was, and it was a $4 pickup, and I had to jump on it. This is a film that won 2 Oscars, one of which was an extremely controversial win, and that is Kenneth Lonergan's Manchester by the Sea.
Ah, nice.
Which won Lonergan an Original Screenplay Award, but also won Best Actor for Casey Affleck. And this happened while he was in the midst of quite a lot of controversy over his past treatment of women.
Actually, he got in there just in time, though.
Yeah.
I think a year later, he wouldn't have had a chance.
Oh, he wouldn't have had a chance. Affleck, from what I understand, he seems to have skated through all the Me Too stuff better than he could have. But it's still kind of unfortunate that he won Best Actor when he did. Also, I believe Michelle Williams was nominated for the film despite having, 5 minutes of screen time?
Yeah.
She's awesome. But she had 5 minutes of screen time. This is a very misleading cover. It is a good movie. It does feature great performances all around, very well directed. It's very good. It was very definitely worth $4.
So my next one is Bird.
Oh.
I've been wanting to get this for a
Yeah,
while.
I need
I got
to
it
see
for
that.
$2, which is not bad for. I mean, it's an old film, so is there. I had got. Sometimes I will go through my Oscar list on Amazon and say if it's under $5, I'll pick them up, and then occasionally I'll get ones on sale for that. And this is one of those cases. Clint Eastwood brings the lifelong love of jazz to the big screen. So he actually got a Best Director Golden Globe for it. And this was about jazzman Charlie Yardbird Parker. This also had Academy Award winner for, it was, what was it that it win? Best Soundtrack. So that's not bad.
Wait, there was a soundtrack?
On a
Best sound.
Best Sound, yes.
They need a best soundtrack.
Yeah. So, it does have the music-only track
Nice.
included on
Nice.
this. So that's kind of a cool thing. I've been hearing good things about this for a while. Despite what he is, Clint Eastwood is an excellent director. He has some pretty good instincts. So I'm sure it's worth a watch.
Despite what he is, huh? Okay, so my next one up is actually one that I really wanted. I've actually put this back a handful of times because I just didn't have the money, but I really wanted it. And I think I got it on Black Friday for $7, which is not, maybe $6, maybe $7. This was also a nominee for original screenplay, and unfortunately that was it. It got snubbed. This is a really fun movie called Molly's Game, which Jessica Chastain should have had an actress nod for this one. She really should have. And I'm usually not a huge booster for Kevin Costner, but he's really good in this film. Overall, it's really good. It's written and directed by Aaron Sorkin, and it's based on a book by Molly Bloom. She basically ran a high-stakes game of underground poker. And the movie is just really entertaining, really interesting, features a great supporting cast, an awesome soundtrack. It's very enjoyable. It should have been up for more than one Oscar, but, very happy to finally have that one.
So, picking this up again, and I do have my Oscar list because my goal, he wants to collect every nominee and every winner. I just want to get the winners. It's an insane plan, but not quite as insane as his plan. and it leaves me to be able to not collect films like Norbit.
I'm stuck with that one.
But another one I got for $3 was Born Free, and it's a sequel here, Living Free.
Oh.
And I think that won Best Documentary Feature, which was a pretty awesome thing. It's about lions, obviously.
Right.
Or is it a... Maybe it's not documentary. I am not familiar. It's when a game warden and his wife adopt a lion cub, they realize that she must be set free and taught to survive on her own. A year later, they return to the savannah and are surprised by a very special welcome to from their old friend. It doesn't say a lot about this, but again, I'm very curious about it. It's one that's there. Okay, so there we go.
Okay.
Best Original Score and Best Song, 1966.
Nice.
So, good to be able to get this. It was
Yeah.
on my list for a while.
Very good. My next up is a film that quite famously both lost and won Best Picture in the same year. And that,
Oh,
of
that
course,
one, huh?
is Moonlight. Quite infamously. Moonlight was a pretty interesting film by Barry Jenkins. It's essentially a coming-of-age story about this kid. It takes place at 3 different times in his life. Shows him as a child, as a young man, and then as an older, not older, but, you know, a grown man. It featured Oscar-nominated performance by Mahershala Ali, and I believe Naomi Harris, if I remember correctly.
And he's got a good shot at winning this
Excellent
year.
excellent performance by Janelle Monáe.
Yep.
Trevante Rhodes, of course, is the main guy. I'm trying to remember exactly what this won. It won, of course, you know, Best Picture, but it also won, what, 2 more awards?
Yeah,
Or-
it was. It won
wasn't-
multiples.
Yeah, but that has got to be one of the most humiliating moments in Oscar history. But anyway,
Poor La La.
I know. Poor La La Land, yes. Oh man, this is. I thought it was a really good film. I honestly thought it was overrated. Personally, it didn't. It's one of those films I could see where if you could really relate to it, this was your movie. But it didn't really fall quite in my wheelhouse, so it didn't strike me as well. But I could see it was a great, great film. I liked La La Land better, but that was a more entertaining film overall. But I'm very happy to have this, and I don't remember if I paid $4 or $5 for it, but it was definitely worth getting. You know,
So,
Yeah.
I have 2 nominees for this year in this pickup.
oh,
And I think both of them have a good shot at winning.
nice.
This one is only up for 1 award.
Hmm.
But I think it will win that award.
Oh,
And if you pay attention, later this week, we're going to be giving you a vlogcast specifically about our predictions for the winners.
yes.
And this will be on it. And that is Avengers
Ooh.
Infinity War.
It should be up for more than one,
I believe it's up for what? Best
Visual
effects, which
which are pretty impressive.
yeah, and it is a favorite to win,
Yeah.
which I'm sure it will. I mean, most of these Marvel films, they win for these things.
Nah, I don't know. Almost none of them have, actually.
They're all up for them anyway.
Yeah. Which actually later in the pickups will come to where that's messed up. But the Infinity War should have been up for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it was a very
But
well done film.
The visual effects are pretty awesome.
I'm having a hard. I've
Oh,
got to get.
and that's actually one. There are 4 categories that I have seen in their entirety. Visual effects is one of them. And I believe you've seen that one in
Yeah,
its
I've got to
entirety.
get started on my Marvel watch
Yeah.
through.
So, my next one, if I remember correctly, was the very rare Best Picture nominee that had only 1 additional nomination. And it won for that award. And I would say pretty deservedly so. And that is the film Selma, which won original song for a song by Common and John Legend called, what was the song called again?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I remember
But,
it was a good one.
I
It was-
tell you though,
yeah.
this is a good. This was a good reason for the performances at the Oscars.
Yeah.
The performance for this song
Oh,
was
it was
incredibly
good.
powerful.
Oh, it was good.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, the people that think that the Oscars are overlong, so let's take out the musical numbers. I'm like, that's one of the most enjoyable parts of the telecast. Why? And especially when you get,
I mean-
like, that was a great performance.
Do we say that
You
in
know.
the Super Bowl, we need to shorten it, so let's take out the halftime show?
Well, after this year.
Maybe this year, yeah. Yeah, you could remove part of the game, and I probably wouldn't notice it.
But definitely this year, that was kind of a weird performance. But yeah, this was it was a good movie overall. It was, David Oyelowo was great, and he probably got snubbed for Best Actor. Overall, this was very well worth picking up. And again, $5. Actually, this was not a... this was a weird... I randomly saw this in a gas station for $5. That's what... And I was like, okay, that's a good price. I gotta get it.
Well, this time I've got another one that is a multiple nominee this year, especially for a Mr. Rami Malek, and that is Bohemian Rhapsody. Now, I have the Best Buy Steelbook, and you just watched this copy, I believe.
Yep.
As you can see, nice thing here. And I had been really conflicted about this film. Really conflicted. I was very interested when it first came out, much like with the Dark Tower movie. But but the Dark Tower movie turned out bad, and then people were saying the writing was bad and not very accurate, and that bothered me a lot. But hearing all the awards buzz that it got like Best Drama or whatever at the Golden Globes?
Yeah. But why that was not nominated in the musical category, I
don't know why. But it was pretty powerful, very well acted. I do agree with that. Rami Malek's performance was amazing, and it did do a good tribute to the band Queen. There were inaccuracies, but a person like me, yes, I'm going to find those inaccuracies. But the average onlooker who doesn't really care as much, they're not going to notice any of that stuff.
No.
They over-dramatize some of the stuff that happened. If you look back on things, they almost villainize certain people who are not quite villains.
And they left out opportunities for drama, which I never know this until last night. I was looking at IMDb, and I never realized that Death on Two Legs was exactly written.
I don't know why they left that out.
They left that whole episode
They left that out for their first, I think it was manager.
First manager,
because of that, and he didn't really care for that. But yeah, it's just missed opportunities.
Yeah.
But a lot of that's also due to the band being involved, and they wouldn't let the music be used unless they had a yay or nay. Sort of like how Sid and Nancy had a lot of yay or nay from Johnny Rotten and a lot of that. So you got to wonder how much is just there.
Well, two members of the band, and actually, weird little bit of trivia. The third member of the band, the one who pretty much said, okay, well, I don't really care, y'all do what you want to do, is in the movie is played by the dude that played Tim in Jurassic Park. I was like,
is that John Deacon?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Deacon is actually, they played him off exactly like that in the things, like in your
exactly.
But I swear he looked 40 when he was 20, but he never changed though. It was one of those people that looks really old when they're young, but then never looks like they age after that.
Like Steve Martin.
Yeah. But again, it's still fun, still a great watch. If you're a Queen fan, put aside any of your misconceptions or any of your like that should be in this order or this release. Like they really messed up the Hot Space release and stuff like that. But still, unless you're an ultra fan like me, you should like this movie.
And one of this year's strongest by far arguments for best use of music in film.
Yes, very good.
Yes.
All right.
I have one of this year's nominees. And it's actually going to be the one I'm presenting that's not on Blu-ray because for whatever reason there is no American Blu-ray release. But this is a film that's up for Best Foreign Language Feature, Hirokazu Koreeda's Shoplifters, which I am very much looking forward to watching this one.
You talked about that. You talked about you were going to get that, and then
yes,
here we
have
it. Yes.
I did. I pre-ordered it from Amazon, and they actually held my previous week's orders to ship with this. It's kind of annoying. On the margins of Tokyo, a dysfunctional band of outsiders are united by fierce loyalty, a penchant for petty theft, and playful grifting. When the young son is arrested, secrets are exposed that upend their tenuous, below-the-radar existence and test their quietly radical belief that it is love, not blood, that defines a family. Yeah, like I said, this is up for foreign language feature. I've seen 3 films by Koreeda, and I am a big fan, and I cannot wait to see this one. I just wish that I could have got it on Blu-ray.
Yes, indeed.
And it has
Yes,
no
indeed.
shot in hell of beating Roma, unfortunately.
You know, there are documentary features out there that make you depressed for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There's those, like the one that is about the end-of-life care this year. That was very depressing.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
But then
God.
there are those that are depressing just because they show the destruction done to the environment.
Yes.
And that was, and very few showed it as well as Gasland.
Oh, yeah.
Gasland was nominated, and it was essentially done around the time of the great fracking boom, which we are still there, and it educated a lot on the dangers. Many will say, well, fracking is there and this is all lies, but if you ever look at the stuff where people are lighting their faucets on fire, this is what brought that to light.
Yeah.
There was a sequel to this, which is little known, which follows it a little bit further and further depresses you. But it is kind of sad how a lot of these people are losing their homes due to this sort of thing. It is a sad
And
thing,
worse in
but
some places.
it is a very well done documentary. I think we watched this together before we ended up
think so.
seeing it this time.
And there's also an excellent book called Under the Surface, Fracking Fortunes and the Fate of the Marcellus Shale, that heavily references that film, and it's worth a read if you get a chance. You'll learn a lot. Again, speaking of depressing, this one is depressing for its Oscar history because A, it was nominated in the wrong category, B, it won, C, it beat more deserving films, and D, the movie sucks. And I have Suicide Squad, which actually won the Oscar for Best Makeup. Now, I will concede, the makeup is well done. El Diablo looks exactly like he's supposed to. The prosthetic makeup for Killer Croc was impressive. Yes, you got the fancy one. I got the one I only had to pay $4 for. But, and I will admit, making the Joker look the way they do with the alabaster skin and the green hair, they really did nail that aspect of it. However, giving him a freaking grill and tattoo and jail tats all over his body, that's not the Joker. Dressing him as a juggalo and making him act like one, that's not the Joker. They really messed that up. The film honestly was a better shot for costume design, and even more so, this should have been a nominee for original song. That song Heathens was a really good song.
It had a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack is great. The problem was the movie looked like a commercial for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was edited by committee.
They were trying too hard to be Guardians.
They were trying way too hard to be Guardians. I think this beat Guardians for makeup, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I think it beat that in Star Trek. And I was like, no. But this is an okay film. I riff on it mainly because it should have been so much better.
yes.
If they had taken the approach to this that they took to Aquaman, but with the evil twist that this calls for, it would have been a great film.
Oh, yeah.
But they ruined it. They
Actually,
dropped that ball.
I think if anything could have utilized that dark, gritty feel, Suicide Squad could have.
Well, Suicide Squad could take dark and gritty, but they've got to be raucous, fun.
Yeah.
We don't give two craps.
It's got to be a kind of dark and gritty with a twist.
They need the approach of a Quentin Tarantino or a Martin McDonagh film, not the approach they took. You know, in fact, if Tarantino and McDonagh had worked together on this, I guarantee it would have been awesome.
So,
all right,
something exactly like Suicide Squad, The Song of Bernadette.
Oh, I think I have that.
Which, Jennifer Jones won Best Actress Academy Award for this, with her screen debut, by the way, which we've had some screen debuts. We actually have one for Beale Street, which could win. Probably not, but could win.
Do it.
No, not Beale Street. For
Yeah, I was going to
Roma.
say Regina
We
King's
have
been around for a while.
Yeah, we have a screen for Roma
Yeah.
that could win. Probably won't.
Probably
but could win.
Yeah.
She's a 14-year-old girl who sees a vision of a beautiful lady and never suffers from her illness again. Moreover, a fountain suddenly materializes close to where the vision appeared that seems to heal visitors who bathe in it. Unspoiled by her apparent gift, Bernadette nonetheless suffers from the prejudices around her in this extraordinary, inspiring film that also stars Vincent Price, Charles
really?
Bickford, and Lee J. Cobb.
Right.
So-
This is Jennifer Jones before she formed a detective agency and started kicking ass.
So, not bad for $2.
Oh, sorry, just never mind.
Jessica
My joke,
Jones.
my joke
Jessica
didn't work.
Jones.
My joke didn't work. Damn it. Yeah, whatever. And so my last one is one that I actually is a long time coming. This is one that I've been meaning to get for ages, and I was too cheap, and Disney is too greedy. And it just took me forever, even though I loved the film, I loved it. I finally got it because Disney is releasing their new film next week, and this was part of my Disney Movie Club purchase. I, along with Ralph Breaks the Internet, I now have Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, you've got a nice addition.
And I have this is actually my first official 4K, really, part of my collection.
And I just
Now, of
got
course,
the lowly Blu-ray.
I don't, now it does have a Blu-ray in there, which is good because I don't have a 4K player.
Or
So
4K TV.
No, exactly. So God knows when I'll actually be able to enjoy this in 4K. But I have that option.
Yes, you do.
But I now have the film. If you've never seen Wreck-It Ralph, it is a fun movie. It is one of Disney's better. It is one of Disney's better releases under their own banner. You basically have this dude, Wreck-It Ralph, who's in a really old school arcade game where he's like, I want to wreck it, and Fix It Felix is like, I can fix it. And then, it's sort of like almost a Donkey Kong kind of thing, Donkey Kong and Mario of thing. And then he ends up getting into other games where he meets Vanellope, who's a glitch in a racing game, which has a wonderful J-pop soundtrack. And then, I don't remember her name, but she's in a more of like a shoot-'em-up kind of... and
like
John
Halo.
John C. Reilly, Jane Lynch, and Sarah Silverman. Pretty good cast. Alan Tudyk plays the villain, and he does a great job.
I'll be glad to see the sequel. I'm debating whether to spend the money on it or to wait until it becomes cheaper, but it's Disney.
And this,
They rarely become cheaper.
yeah, I know. Like I said, I was waiting forever for this one and Frozen to come down. I still don't have Frozen.
Yeah.
And I think this lost to Brave, didn't it?
I can't
It was
remember.
a nominee.
Yeah,
it was a
probably
nominee
did.
for animated feature. It should have been. I still think Sugar Rush should have been up for original song, if only because I wanted to see Akiba 48 as Oscar nominees. But yeah, and it did have a good song by Al City too, if I remember correctly. But great film.
Well, last but not least, we have They Shoot Horses, don't they?
Good cheerful title.
I don't know why, but this one always grabbed my attention name-wise when I was looking for Oscar films. So I finally picked it up.
Name.
It was down to $4.99. I picked up this copy, and it's a rather thick copy. I'm guessing it's one of those. It's a Kino release. Kino did one of their sales.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I think I have a bare bones edition.
it's mastered in HD. So it's a brilliant achievement. It's Sidney Pollack. Let's see here. Highly acclaimed film in Depression era America. The dance marathon, apparently. So they're dancing for a $1,500 prize, which is a big thing during Depression era America. And it has
It's a
been
big thing nowadays.
Yeah, it's true. I could use that, but can you imagine that though? $1,500 in like Depression era dollars.
Yeah, that would go a long way.
That would go a huge way. I'm looking for the nominations here.
Well,
Nominated for 9 Academy
I want to
Awards.
say Jane Fonda was up for actress, wasn't she?
Is it including Best Actress for Fonda,
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actress for
Susanna
York, Director for Pollock, Screenplay for James Poe and Robert E. Thompson, and winner of Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Young.
For
So that
Young
would be-
being... I think they're listed on the back here.
Yeah, Young is...
Gig Young.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
But again, cool looking thing. I'm curious about it. I've always been curious about this one. I thought it was a Western when I first heard
Well,
the
it
name.
sounds like it, doesn't it?
But,
it sounds like a film with your doctor in it. Nothing we can do. Got to put it down. But I've actually seen the film, and I was a little underwhelmed by it. But one of these days, I'll get back to it. But you got, like I said, I have a bare bones edition release of that one. But
So with that being said, we're going to wrap up because we got a lot to cover. We're going to eat and move forward. So, of course, if you like these videos, hit like. Show us what you've picked up this week. Well, tell us about it in the comments anyway.
Yep.
And, of course, share that love. We want to keep on growing as a channel. We love you all. We enjoy these videos. We enjoy sharing our pickups and our fun with you. And we're going to be sharing some more information in the next one.
Yep.
Bye.